to show you. Are you able to grow a beard? You'll kind of grow a beard yet, or has that not happened yet?
How old are you, young man?
Tall. You know what I'm saying? Tall, and you're very, very knowledgeable for being 12. So that's cool, yeah.
So it's good that you can lift him up. Oh, that's very
That's blessed. All praise to the Most High God. So this is actually your heritage, man. This is your true heritage. Your true nationality is the children of Israel. You're Israelite. Same way that all us brothers here are Israelites. We're the southern kingdom, you know, Judah, Benjamin. You'll be the northern kingdom as well. You'll be the northern kings of Israel. You ever heard of the tribe of Asher? Oh, so you'd be from the tribe of Asher. So when you read about Jacob's 12 sons, you know about Jacob. You know Abraham? And he had Isaac, and then he had Jacob. And Jacob's name got changed to Israel. And then he had 12 sons, that became the 12 tribes. Right, so you'd be from the tribe of Asher. That's your biblical name, Asher.
That's right.
Leviticus chapter 21 and verse 5. Leviticus 21 and verse 5. They shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh.
Right, so the Most High commanded us that we can't make baldness on our head. We can't make our head bald, and we can't cut into our beard. So you can shave your beard down. I know you can't grow one just yet, but when you can grow a beard, you can shave it down, but you can't change the shape. You can't cut into it and start destroying the shape. You can shave it down, but you can't shave it completely off, and you can't start shaping it up. See how I've got it down here? A lot of people shave this part off. I don't, because he said we can't do that. And you can't make baldness on your head either. You see how my brother's got short hair, but it's not bald. You know, and it doesn't cut into his line. It's got a, and you know. You having a head of hair, that will please the Most High. You know, that's pleasing to the Most High that you've got your hair. You know. But the same thing for your mother. She can't make baldness on her head either. So it's good that she has that.
Apply for an heritage. So this is our heritage according to the scriptures. So this is the book of Sirach 17 and verse 10. And the elect shall praise his holy name. Beside this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage.
Right, so this is your true heritage. The law in the Bible, that's your heritage. It's the law of life, and he gave it to you as a heritage. But, you know, the prophet Jeremiah, he prophesied that something would happen to the Israelites. Bear in mind, the Israelites' heritage is the laws, right? But Jeremiah is about to speak, right?
This is Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
Right, so he said that the Israelites would discontinue from their heritage. So that means that they won't know that the law is their heritage. They won't have the law anymore. Now in these last days we're waking up and finding out that this is our heritage. But for the longest time, you know, most of our brothers and sisters over in the Americas, they don't know that this is their heritage. They don't know that. Because it said that we'll discontinue from our heritage, right?
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
He said you'll serve your enemies, right? So how did your people end up speaking Spanish? Because that wasn't your original language. You know how your people ended up speaking Spanish? It's when the Spaniards came over and colonized, right? Right. Christopher Columbus, yeah.
Right.
So he came over and colonized, and then they made you speak their language and live their way. So originally you were speaking Hebrew. They said that you will serve your enemies because you were in service to them, you were in bondage to them, you were slaves to them, right?
And they killed a lot of your foreparents. Your foreparents were slaughtered to death, and they were also enslaved and transported from over there to Europe and shipped into slavery.
We got a phone? Take a picture. If you can get hold of this book, it's on Amazon, it's not too expensive. This book talks about the atrocities that the Spaniards committed against the people in the world. So you see how the people in the Spaniards. So some people was there, somebody who witnessed it. So if you can get it it'll show you how we went through the same things as the Southern Kingdom, as his brothers here. You went through the same stuff. It's no different. Get me the children of Israel and Judah were pressed together. You know? Jeremiah
This is in Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
So what they're saying is, when I said to you, we went through the same thing as us, and when I say us, I understand with these brothers that it goes based off of who your father is, right? So your nationality is you know when I asked you who your father is, that's why, or where your father's from, sorry. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, so I asked you earlier, the reason why I asked you where your father's from is because that's what your nationality is. So though I don't look like my brothers here, based on my father's, I'm an Israelite, right? So he's saying though that the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, saying that we went through the same thing, oppressed in the same place over in America. You know, we're oppressed together. It's the only people who go through these curses in the Bible. We can. You remember how I used the Bible to identify you about how you got to America? We can also use the Bible to identify you in other ways, by showing you what the children of Israel would go through if they didn't obey the Most High. So,
basically, what he's trying to say is that the difference between Christianity and Islam, he's trying to say, are you going to listen to me, bro? He's trying to say that the difference between Christianity and Islam.
Okay, you see? Okay.
Oh, they're not religious.
He's going to read Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
unto who?
Unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness.
Right, so that's just letting you know that throughout the book of Deuteronomy, it's Moses speaking to Israel, right? So just letting you know who the audience is.
It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee and I above all nations of the earth.
So it's saying that if we obey the Most High, He would set us above everybody. Now, is the indigenous Americans, you know, the Hispanics, the Native Americans, and the so-called black man, are they at the top of society right now? Nah, they're not. Living in the poorest neighborhoods, you know, we don't own any of this. You know, we don't own any factories, anything. We're at the bottom of society, man. We have to live in the worst neighborhoods, and so it clearly lets you know that we didn't listen. Jump to verse 15. If at any point you need to just explain, we'll pause.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
All these what?
all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right. So it said if we don't obey His commandments, these curses will come upon us. Is a curse a good thing? No, is it? That's a bad thing. So it said if we don't listen and obey Him, then we'll be cursed, right?
As they were, Hosea chapter 4 and verse 7, as they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore will I change their glory into shame.
Right. So because we sinned against God, He changed our glory into shame and made us shameful. You know, you see our people out here, they're always on drugs or they're fighting against each other, and it's all shameful rather than being glorious because we sinned against Him, right? Read verse 46.
This book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Right, so he's talking about the curses. He said these curses will be on the children of Israel for a sign and for a wonder, and upon the seed forever. So not just this generation, you have children, they'll be on them, they have children, they'll be on them. But it said for a sign, so what does a sign do? Shows you what you're looking at, right?
Right.
I wouldn't know what
Very
that shop
intelligent
was.
young man.
I wouldn't know what that shop was if it didn't have a sign. You know, I wouldn't know that that was a casino if it didn't say casino. So when you see these curses on a set of people, that lets you know that's a sign that they are the children of Israel, right?
Khan King, Khan Prince. Verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Right, so a few things to unpack there. He said if we don't obey Him, He'll send our enemies and we'll have to serve them. What does that sound like to you? Serving another people. Slavery, right? So we was all in slavery, right? And He said we'll have to serve them in want of all things, in hunger, thirst and nakedness. So if you want something to eat, you have to go to their shops, right? Sainsbury's, Tesco's. You want something to drink, you got to go to their shops. We don't control any of that stuff. You want clothes, we don't make the clothes. We have to go to them for clothes. It said we'll serve our enemies in want of all things. You want anything, you got to go to your enemy to get it. We don't make it ourselves. We don't have those industries.
That's right.
Right? And then it said he'll put a yoke of iron. Do you know what a yoke of iron is? It's like a big chain on your neck. You know when they got you on a chain and they have a chain around your neck. Like a big.
Like a dog collar.
Yeah. Let me find a picture for you. So that's a yoke of iron. So that obviously was on so-called black people. But that book that I showed you, it talks about in there how they did the same thing to indigenous Americans. They put yokes of iron on them. In that book that you got a picture of, it talks about that. It happens to you too. So these curses fit you as well. So Oh, you said land the dollar was not there. You said verse 47. Verse 60. Yeah, tell us about the church.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 60. 16. 16. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city.
Right, so who's cursed in the city? Who lives in all the worst neighborhoods? In the favelas? In the hoods? Who lives in all the favelas? You know, the hoods, the ghettos, the slums? Who's cursed in the city? If you go to a city, who's always in the poor neighborhoods? Well, not always foreign people, because you know Canary Wharf, that's full of Chinese people. They're not in a poor neighborhood, right? So-called indigenous Americans, Hispanics, Latinos, Native Americans, and so-called black people, no matter where you go in the world, always seem to be in the poorest neighborhoods, cursed in the city, right?
Right. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
Right. So they made, like I said, both kingdoms, Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom. They made so-called black people and they made so-called indigenous people work in fields, man. We're picking cotton, picking tobacco, you know, sugar cane. They made us working up, so we was cursed in the field.
Right. Where is your one thing? What is one from there? 54. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Right, so it said that the man that is tender and delicate among you, the man that loves his people, his eye will be evil toward his brother, right? So, you know, over in Bolivia and over in these countries, you know, you get your own people fighting against each other, hating their brothers, man, having evil eyes towards their brothers, right? And, you know, same thing for so-called black people. Gang wars, right? Gang wars, cartels, all against each other, all hating their brothers, man, because that's a curse that we have to go through. And it said, towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Now, if you don't mind me asking, is your dad around? Or no? Do you know your father? Yeah. But is he not involved with the family? No, you don't. No. So that's a curse. It's not just that the so-called Hispanic man is just awful and hates his kids. It's that we're going through curses, right? He said he would leave his children. That's a curse. The so-called white man, the so-called Chinese man, the so-called Arab man, they're not leaving their children. It's only us. Right, so that lets you know that we're going through these curses.
64. This book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Right, so he said that because we didn't obey him, he's going to scatter us amongst all people, right? And then we're going to serve other gods, which our fathers didn't know, right? Serving wood and stone. So a lot of the time we serve Christianity. That's actually idolatry. You know, when they see the cross is made of wood. People serve that. They wear it around the neck. They put it in their house. That's an idol god. That's idolatry, right? So we would be serving other gods like wood. And then you've got the Mecca stone. You know what the Muslims pray to? The big. Do you know that? Mecca. It's like they got the big square. Do you know what I mean? So that's the Muslim thing. So we'd be serving things like that. And you know, over a lot of indigenous people, they would worship things like wood and stone, you know, make stone statues and everything, and have all these different gods, which weren't the Most High God, who chose you to be a special people, right? Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6. This is what God says about you, because we're going through all these curses because of our disobedience. And if you want things to turn around and you want to get back on top, you need to start obeying the Most High God. Because he's not asking much of you, you know. He's showing you that you love him. Get me 1 John 5 and 3.
This is book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Right, so he said holy means separate. Right, I always make this example. If I have like 10 pairs of shoes, and then I've got one pair is my favorite, all the other 9 shoes, they can go by the front door, right? But then my favorite pair, I put separate. I separate it from the rest, and that goes upstairs in the wardrobe or something, you know? So all them other shoes, I'll leave them by the front door, but my favorite pair, I separate them. I put them away from the other ones. That's what he did with us. He chose us and separated us from other people, made us holy, separate from everyone else, right?
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are up on the face of the earth.
Right, so God said that he chose us to be above everybody else on the earth, all the other people. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are above everybody else. According to the Bible, man, that's in the Bible. Right, so you're actually a prince on this earth, man. You're better than all these other people, man. You see all these other nations out here, all these Chinese, Arabs, all these, you know, you're better than them, man. You're a prince on the earth, and she's a princess on the earth, man.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15 and verse 37. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel.
Speak unto who?
Speak unto the children of Israel,
That's it.
and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
So he commanded us to make fringes in the borders of our garments and to put a ribbon of blue on it. You know, you can have whatever colour fringes. You know, my brother's got red, I got gold, he's got brown, but you have to have a ribbon of blue on it, right? And there's a specific reason why he said we have to dress like this. Read on.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord.
Do what?
And remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them.
So he made us wear fringes so that we could remember, because earlier in the chapter there was a man who collected sticks on the Sabbath day. He broke the Sabbath day. So the Lord said, all right, let me help you out. Since he forgot, let me make a way for you to remember. So if I wanted to go buy something now, I'd look at my fringes and I'd remember that I'm not supposed to do that on the Sabbath day, right? Or if I wanted to eat some pork, I'd look at my fringes and I remember we don't do that. So these fringes are here to remind us, because we can be forgetful, you know? So he helped us out, he gave us a way to remember. And I'll just show you this. So that's native, indigenous people. That's a common thing. Have you seen that before? Seen that before? How you people wear that? And do you see the ribbon of blue as well? The blue. And that's not somebody who's, you know, reading the Bible. That's somebody who, you know how I showed you the Hebrew writing that's in America? Same thing. They brought those customs. It's the same people. They brought that stuff over to the Americas. It slowly started to fizzle out. You know, people probably don't remember why they wear fringes, but it's a common thing because that's your heritage, man. It shows that you're the people of the Bible too. So. Right. So, turn to Israel. Do you mind if I give you? You got one? Oh, yeah. There you go. Just do your research. Thank you. It's you know. Yeah. And you're clearly a bright, clearly got a good head on your shoulder, man. thought it was quite bright.
And we just advise you, as a young man growing up, please be obedient unto mom, because this society will try to get you to do. This society will get you to do all different kind of things because it's very influential on the young men that's growing up in this society now. So mama's got a real tough job to help you to understand and to be around her so that you can do what is right and not end up in bad companies, right? So we would like you to be obedient unto mom. When she gives you instruction, it's because that she loves you and she wants you to do well in this, because this is a strange land to you from where you travel from to be here. So for you to get along in this society, mom have to help you and you have to help mom, right? So that's what we'll say to you as a young man giving you these scriptures, that you be very helpful to mom and be aware not to go and do things that not pleasing unto mom and not pleasing unto God. All right? All right, young prince.
Right, quick, you got a Bible at home? You have a Bible and everything? Is there a Spanish Bible?
Spanish.
Have you got a Spanish Bible for your mum as well? No. Yeah. So, when you read the Bible, don't listen to what these pastors say where they say, just start in Matthew. Make sure you read all the Bible. Read everything. And your foundation should always be the first 5 books. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, because that's all the do's and don'ts. Things you're allowed to do and things you're not allowed to do. If you live life according to that, God will bless you, man. All these brothers, we've all come from different backgrounds. We're all doing different wicked things, but guess what? We don't do that stuff anymore. And we can testify that life has been better since. Right. Life has never been as good ever since we started obeying God, because He bless you, man. He has the power to do that. Right. What's your name? Gabriel. Name? Gabriel. Yeah. That's a good name, bro. Shout out to Gabriel. What's mum called? Alejandro. So, Gabriel and Alejandro, nice to meet you. We say Shalom, that means peace unto you. And make sure you check out the YouTube. If you want to get in contact, you can leave a comment. We reply. And take care of yourself, man. Kwame Sharala! All praise to the Most High. Shalom, King. Shalom, Prince. Princess. Come. So, let's take it back to the lesson, but I'm running out of time now, so... What do you say? Well, yeah, what do you say? Let me just close out. Precept I haven't brought out in a while. One of my favorites. Get me Sirach, chapter 43. I think it's verse 10. Might be 43 and 30 actually.
This is Book of Sirach 43 and verse 30. When ye glorify the Lord, exalt Him as much as you can, for even yet will He far exceed. And when ye exalt Him, put forth all your strength. That's right. And ye may be and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough.
See that? So when you exalt the Lord, when you glorify the Lord, put forth all your strength, exalt Him as much as you can, because you can't do enough. You can't praise Him enough. That's how great the Most High is. You could praise Him all. He has specific angels created with the intent purpose to stand next to the throne and say, holy, 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 24/7, 365. That's how worthy He is to be praised. He has angels made, and their whole job is to just stand by the throne and say, holy, holy, holy. Oh, in the Hebrew they say, Kodash, Kodash, Kodash. That's their whole job. So we can't praise Him enough. You could praise Him all day, every day, all your life. You didn't do enough. You can't praise Him enough. That's how amazing and mighty and worthy to be praised, our glorious God that chose Israel, Yahweh Ba'ashem HaMashiach Yahweh. That's how glorious He is, man. You can't praise Him enough, right? And everything that we learned and just shared with our brother and sister, we didn't just learn it for our own benefit, man. We learned it for moments like that where we can edify someone and show them themselves out the Bible. Bring out that precept, King.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 and verse 17. Consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning.
So they came by, they were seeking learning after my brother Yakuza called them over. So we labored, we made sure we had things to back it up. We proved who they were in the Bible. We had artifacts of Hebrew written in America, showed them the fringes. We done research so we can show them these things, man. And so that they can start to glorify the Father properly and obey Him. With that, my segment is over. I'm going to pass it on to the next mighty speaker. I'll give a mighty shout. We say, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai, Emmanuel, Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Kwam Yasharala.